Welcome to the new FX series transmitter in-depth view. It's quite a bit different than the MR series transmitter. I'll just kind of bring that in here real quick. So you can see on this system, basically you had 12 buttons, and each time you pushed one of the buttons, that cue would fire, and it works just fine. But the new system is much more sophisticated. Gives you 3 fire modes, and we'll just kind of walk around the transmitter and show you what's going on. So here on the top side is your on and off switch. Here's your fire button. Here's your rotary dial switch, and that's used to select a mode, select a delay, that kind of thing. And of course your telescoping antenna, and it takes a 9-volt battery to operate. So let's turn this on. We'll kind of step through a couple of modes. I'm going to turn this light off, and hopefully that allows you to see the display a little bit better. If you can see that little 1 in the display, that indicates that cue number 1 will fire when you press the fire button. So that's step fire mode. So if we press the fire button, now you can see that steps to number 2. The blue indicator is an unfired cue, so if we press 2 and it moves on to 3, that you know 3 is on fire. But we can also step backwards. So there's cue 1, there's cue 2 is fired, red indicates that that cue has been fired. There's 3 is not, so we can step up here and select, there's cue number 10. Hit fire, cue 10 fired, and automatically increments to cue number 11, and it indicates that it is currently unfired. So pretty easy, pretty cool. That's the kind of the same method as the MR series step fire mode, just selecting it with a digital display instead. We'll show you all fire mode. So again, here you rotate this until you see that in the display, so 2 dashes in the display. And then if we press the fire button, that sent commands to all 20. The system has 20 receivers. So that just sent fire to all 20 simultaneously. And now we can step through and see that it does indicate that all receivers have been fired. Right? So I'm going to shut the system off. That'll reset the fire indicator just to show you the next mode a little bit easier. So we turn it on again now. Q1 is not fired. We'll show you the sequential fire mode. So we use the rotary switch here to select the amount of delay. So a 1 in the display is 0.1 seconds. So you can go all the way up to 20, which is 2 seconds. You can't choose a different delay between cues. So if you select, we want, let's see, half a second between cues. Let's just go up to 10. You push in on the button. So that says now flashing means there's going to be sequential fire, and there will be 1 second between cues. So now if we press the fire button in this mode, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So it'll increment all the way through 20. It'll fire all of them with a 1 second delay between each. So we'll let that finish. I'll just run through that one more time. Maybe it was a little bit confusing there, but it's really pretty easy. So it reaches 20, goes back to 10, which is the number of, tenths of a second that will fire. So 10 tenths is 1 second. 1 second between each cue. Let's turn it off again. Turn it on. Again, now we want to scroll through until we find the amount of delay we want. So let's do 1.5 seconds. You push in on that rotary dial and you'll see the LED display start flashing. Now when we push fire, you can see that it's 1.5 seconds between each cue firing. So that's pretty cool, huh? Let me turn this light back on. That's much more advanced than the MR series. Again, there's no way to change the delay between each individual cue. If you pick 2 seconds or 20 in the display, it will be 2 seconds between every single cue. So we're going to talk about pairing mode a little bit here. I've got one of the lamps turned off just so we can see the LED display a little easier on the transmitter. So you want to do this when all of your igniters are not attached. So pre-show, maybe do a sheet of paper, write down all your cue numbers, pair them all up, put some temporary stickers on them so you know exactly what's going on. Just makes setup a whole lot easier. But to get down to it, we want to change what is now cue number 1, we want to change that to number 10. So both devices are powered on. As you can see, we're on number 18 here. So let's go back in here and go down to cue number 10. So now we've got cue number 10 selected. What we want to do now is press and hold here until the light starts flashing. Press the transmit button and then release. That's it. So now this is number 10. We'll give it a test. Now we've scrolled to number 10, and now if we push the fire button, you can see that the power light blinked, indicating that this is now on cue number 10. So that's pretty easy. That's it for pairing. Thank you.